Okay, I'm back for 3 more. Let me get my WSDS out. Okay, now we're going to do ladies' mantle. This is actually a very ancient herb. Um, this will increase your magic works, and it's supposedly an aphrodisiac. Let's see. The other names for it is nine hooks, dewcap, lion's foot, bear's foot, and stellaria, or stellaria, however you want to pronounce it. The gender is female. The ruling element is water. The planet is Venus. And the deities is the earth and water goddesses, Venus and Freya. In case y'all don't know who Freya is, she is the top goddess in Norse mythology. The magical properties, now it's believed that it sweats crystals. I've never personally seen that, but I'm not denying it. I just haven't seen it myself. The early morning dew was once collected for this reason and to produce the Philosopher's Stone, which I'm not going to go into what the Philosopher's Stone is. Y'all can look that up because it's a whole different realm and it'd be a whole different video. Women used it for beauty. If you add it to your spells, you may think of it as like an exclamation point behind what you say. Yeah, I mean it. So mote it be, exclamation point. It's used in love spells, potions, and amulets. And it's associated with fairies. You can brew it in a tea to connect with the earth goddess. Now, the medicinal properties, it relieves mild aches and pains due to menstruation and lessens bleeding. Hence, ladies' mantle. So, if you have heavy menstruation or cramps, you could brew this in a tea. Now, I'm not saying, drink it all day, every day while you're menstruating, but it may help as long as you're not allergic to it or taking anything else. Always check before you ingest any of these herbs. It's also used for arthritis, diabetes, and digestive remedies. People in the old days used to use it for ulcers. It'll help control bleeding. I always wonder why hemophilias or hemophiliacs did not use ladies' mantle. Because you know what a hemophiliac is, people that get cut and start bleeding and they can't. They just keep bleeding. But then there's also blood clotting drugs for that. But anyway, I got to get off the medical part. But what I researched on the medicinal properties, it relieves mild aches and pains due to menstruation and lessens bleeding. So even if you get cut out externally, you can make a poultice out of it. I would recommend using the actual plant fresh, to, smash it down and then put it on you and then wrap your arm up or your leg, wherever you're hurt. Now, If someone is on a blood thinner, there's a warning here. It should not be consumed because it has a clotting factor in it. Just like I said, it lessens bleeding. So otherwise, to stop the bleeding, you're going to have to be clotting. Okay. Now, in my instance with my heart condition, I am on blood thinners. So I would not take that because I don't want my blood to clot. That's what causes heart attacks and all that. But if you're healthy and, talk to your doctor because it does have a clotting factor in it. I also have a spell, of course, um, for depression. If you're suffering with depression, you can make an incense out of it. Um, I guess I can go and give it to you right now. All right, you're going to use 2 parts lavender, 1.5 parts St. John's wort, I'm sorry, 1 part catnip, 1 part vervain, and 1 part jasmine. You steep all that together, like on your stove in a pot. Let it cool off, or however you want to do it, and you can strain it. Or I use the whole herbs in my water. It depends on how big they are, because you really don't want to stop up your bathtub. But I usually put them in my bath water whole after they've been boiled. I put it all in there. Um, However you want to do it, but that's how I do it. I put it in bath water, and it really does help depression. Makes you feel better about yourself. Call it aromatherapy, psychosomatic, however you want to call it. It works. So anyway, now I have no idea what I've done with this other page. I think I took it out. Oh, I skipped it. That's why. Okay, now we're going to go on to Lovely Lavender, which I'm always almost out of because I use it all the time. And I have the little flower buds, dried flower buds of lavender. I know you can't see them, but it smells good. Um, Lavender to me is another universal herb. It's used for clairvoyance, healing, love, money, passion, peace, good luck, energy, and so many other things. It really is. The energy is male, believe it or not. The ruling element is air. The planet is Mercury. The deities, Hecate, Saturn, the snake goddesses, and is said to attract elves. And of course, I have all kinds of spells and all kinds of stuff. Of course, everybody knows it's used for sleep and calming. That's why I said, mix it with all this other stuff and put it in your bath water. That's what we mainly use it for. It's protection, happiness, love. Also, another good herb used in midsummer. Money, healing, longevity spells. And it's a well-rounded flower herb for everything magical and medicinal. The medicinal properties It's an antidepressant, an anti-inflammatory, and an antiseptic, insomnia, anxiety, a basically happy essence that can be used for everything. You can put it in a tea. You know, it's not poisonous. You can you can do whatever you want with it. It's that versatile. Isn't it amazing? I mean, I love my herbs. It's just amazing how beautiful they are, and why everything was put on this earth for a reason. And of course, witches have known this for hundreds and hundreds of years, thousands of years. And the pharmaceutical companies are just now figuring out that you can actually use these herbs, these natural grown herbs that were put on this planet by the higher being, whichever one you may serve. So I think it's awesome. Okay. Next one we're going to go to is the Mandrake root, which I'm sure everybody's heard about the Mandrake root. And I will tell you, the biggest misconception of the Mandrake root is that whenever you pull it up out of the ground, it screams. It does not. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. That's an old wives' tale, and it does not scream. I think how that came about was because it actually looks like a person, the root. In fact, it's used in a lot of poppets. It's used in a lot of voodoo and hoodoo spells. Um, Sometimes you can reconform it to make it look exactly like the human, replant it in the ground, and come back later, dig it up, and it will stay the way you put it. It's an awesome herb. It really is. But no, it does not scream whenever you pull it up out of the ground. Or I haven't ever, heard about it doing. I mean, I've heard about it, but it hasn't ever happened to me. Now, if you do get a root, especially if you want to make a poppet out of it, I mean, you can make a poppet even for your own self. If you need healing, if you want to bring something good upon yourself, you can make a poppet for yourself. You really can. Um, and then, dress it with however you want to be, and that will help. And a lot of people do that. It doesn't have to be baneful magic when you use a poppet. You can use those to heal people, anything. But if you're going to do that, I recommend, if you're going to make a poppet for yourself, I have down here, sleep with it for 3 nights before a full moon to charge it with your own energy. That way it will become accustomed to you. Names are Satan's apple, manroot, gallows, and the mayapple. The gender is male. The ruling element is earth. The planets are Saturn and Mercury. And the ruling deities, Hecate, Diana, and Aphrodite. Okay, now, Mandrake root is poisonous. Let me stress that. Mandrake root is poisonous. You do not want to ingest this, okay? I mean, it's not as deadly as henbane or wolfsbane or belladonna, where if you get it on your fingers, you have to instantly wash your hands. But do not ingest it. Not advisable. Because it is a member of the deadly nightshade family. Okay, just like belladonna and henbane and all them other poisonous plants. I'm sorry if I sound like I'm talking out of my nose, but for some reason my allergies are messing up tonight. It's used for prosperity, protection, fertility, and getting rid of evil. Carried to attract love and worn to preserve health. Sometimes used as poppets, as I said, because of the human-like form of the root. And you can use, I a lot of times put it on my altar when I'm doing a dark moon ritual to my goddess. The medicinal properties. It's a hallucinogenic. Once again, I stress, it is poisonous. What's it going to do to you? It's going to make you flip out, or just do not take it internally. In the old days, it was used as a narcotic. In other words, a pain reliever. It was boiled and added to, say, a cup of tea or wine. And I just do not recommend it for ingestion. Do not ingest this, please. If you decide, I don't know why you would, to burn it as an incense, do not be downwind of it. In other words, don't breathe it in, because you're still breathing in and you're ingesting it. Just ingestion doesn't mean just swallowing. It's anything you take into your body. Do not ingest this for any shape, form, or fashion. You can use it in your spells. You can touch it, you know. Now, if you go to chop it on the root and you get some of the sap on you, or the water, the moisture from it, I would recommend going as soon as you can and washing your hands. And do not touch your eyes. Of course, you shouldn't be touching your eyes anyway. That's just, I told you, there goes the medical part of me. You should never have your fingers in your eyes anyway, because of all the other infections. But when you're handling these herbs, definitely do not do it. Okay. Well, I'm going to probably do 3 more. And I have a friend of mine that I would like to tell y'all about. So I'll be back again in a minute. Bye-bye.